Jamie here from the Center for Aligned Living. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope that wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, I can be of service to you in some way. That is my intention. I am an intuitive healer and spiritual guide, and I work with people daily in trying to live their lives aligned with their higher selves. And that looks different for everyone and changes from moment to moment. It is a journey. It is a path. We're all on our own paths, and I feel strongly that we're all heading to the same destination, which is spiritual alignment. So today I want to talk to you just briefly about 3 things that you can do right now to start feeling better. These are 3 things that you can easily implement and use as tools anytime you are not feeling as good emotionally as you would like to. I think that we can all admit that there is a whole lot of not feeling good going on around the world right now, and if we can just take it upon ourselves and take personal responsibility for how we feel as individuals, if we all did that, the collective would feel better as a whole. So here we go. Let's get started. So number 1 on my list is don't take anything personally. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote an absolutely beautiful series of books. I think it started with the 4 Agreements, but don't take anything personally is one of the 4 agreements. So if you haven't read those books, I highly recommend them. Anyway, don't take anything personally. So this is a big one. You know, everybody's going through their own thing, and unless you intentionally or unintentionally did something directly to upset another person, more than likely their response has nothing to do with you. And you know, maybe you did do something and it triggered them, and you have no idea that that's a trigger for them. So you're not responsible for that other person's triggers. So just remember that. If you're in a relationship with that person and you have to be around them a lot or often, then it probably would serve you well to inquire and have safe dialogue in regards to reactions that folks may have, especially if you see a pattern. If you see a pattern, maybe you don't have to have the conversation, but it could actually shed some light for the other individual if you're comfortable doing that. But today we're talking about how to make you feel better at any given situation at any given time. So don't take anything personally. Whether somebody is short with you at a store, or you know, you feel like you know, somebody gave you a dirty look, who knows, fill in the blank. You're probably misinterpreting it, and just don't take it on. You know, don't add that to the list of things that you're not feeling good about, and just accept that everybody's going through their own thing, and you don't know what that thing is typically. It could be anything, you know. It could be they could have just gotten in a big fight, or had gotten fired, or you know, you just don't know. So just don't take it personally when people, you know, are gruff or whatnot. Number 2, stop the blame rampage. Okay, I had a beautiful example of this over the weekend where one of my kids was in the blame rampage in regards to a certain situation. It has to do with the teacher, right? And he said it at least 4 times, you know, just going back to blaming something external. And I was just like, be that as it may, you know, because we can't change another person. The only thing that we can do is change how we perceive other beings and situations. So I had to ask him. The only thing, you know, he wasn't responding. He was still in the blame cycle. And I said, okay. Step back. Are you right now, are you being part of the solution, or are you being part of the problem? And that kind of got him to change gears. And so I'm like, all this blame is, you're just perpetuating the problem. So let's be proactive and be part of the solution. What steps can you take to respond to this and react differently. And so we worked through that. But it took a moment, right? Because it's a lot easier just to point the finger and say, oh, it was because of something my dad said, or oh, it was the teacher, or oh, my boss, fill in the blank. Humans are just really brilliant at this, at the blame game. And there's so much, it's just rampant in the world right now. But we all need to take personal responsibility for our actions and our responses, and also how we perceive things and what we're thinking about in our mindset. And the good news is that you have free will and you have your superpower of choice, that you can make better choices, different choices to have a different outcome. Okay, so that gets me to number 3. And number 3 is accepting the as is. So, whatever the current situation is or current mood, if you stop fighting against it, because the fighting just causes more turmoil and more friction. If you just accept the as is, that does not mean that you have to perpetuate it, if you will. You have to look at the scenario and determine, is this in my control or is it out of my control? What can I do? Just like stopping the blame game. What can I do in this situation to make it better? Better for me, better for those around me, etc., etc. But just to accept the as is, because things don't always move that rapidly, Sometimes things move pretty slowly, but they do move. They do change, they do evolve. And if you just accept for the moment the as is as it is, as it currently stands, allow it to be, then you can start working towards the solution. Fighting it is perpetuating the discomfort. So think about that. Think that one through. I think the other two were very a little bit easier. The third one's a little bit tougher, but I'm telling you, if you incorporate those 3 things into your mindset, into your daily routine, into your awareness even, that when you're not feeling well, okay, well, is this a situation where I'm taking something personally and I shouldn't? Am I blaming someone and I shouldn't? I'm just perpetuating the problem. Am I not accepting the current situation? And even if it's like you're angry, I always I used to get. I don't think it's just me. I think that this is a thing that happens with women, unable to express their anger in a healthy way, because I was programmed to think that anger was not feminine. Anger was not something a woman or an attractive woman should feel, and so I suppressed it for a very long time, and it did not serve me very well at all, because what happens is you shove it down, shove it down, shove it down, and then it gets explosive, and then you're labeled the crazy lady, right? So anger is normal. Anger, there is no emotion that you feel that is bad or wrong. If you are feeling it, you are feeling it. Just allow it. The as is right now might be that you're angry. You won't always be angry. It's what you do with that anger that matters, okay? So accepting it is huge. Allowing it, huge. I mean, don't go bananas. But just accepting it is significant, and acknowledging that you have it. The as is right now is that I am very uncomfortable because I am very angry, and just allow it to be there, because if you suppress it or push it back, it really doesn't go anywhere. It kind of just becomes bigger. So just address it. It's happening. Is there anything I can do about it right now? How can I be part of the solution with this anger? Sometimes there are steps you can take that immediately rectify the situation and you feel better. Other times there are not. because anger is typically control. What are you trying to control? And a lot of times, if it's external, your sphere of influence, it just might not happen, right? You may not be able, you can't control other people. You can influence and guide, but you can't control them. I can't control if you're going to watch this entire video. I can't control if my kids are going to, be positive, healthy beings. I can only control myself, just like you can only control yourself. So, accepting the as is and knowing that anything that you're feeling is okay. It's what you do with it that matters. And if you struggle with these things, please reach out to someone for some guidance and some help. There's no shame in that. I do it. I'm not perfect. I'm a human woman having a human experience here. I'm not perfect. I'm not aligned with my higher self all the time. I would like to be. I think that'd be really cool, and I strive for that. It's getting better more and more and more. I know how to deal with these situations that come up when I have emotions and I'm not feeling great. But I think it's just really important that we all take care of ourselves and take these steps and know that you have the ability to ratchet yourself back up to alignment, or even just feeling better quickly without having to wait a really long time for, like maybe an appointment with a therapist or anything. There's tools you can use. I'm not saying don't do those other things. I'm just saying in the interim, right now, these are some tools that can help you. And if those are too big of a stretch for you at any given time, practice gratitude. It's my go-to. You cannot feel a negative emotion when you are feeling gratitude. So you may think you don't have anything to be grateful for, but there's oxygen. You're breathing. Number one thing you need in life, breath, air. So be grateful for that. It might sound silly, but it's factual, Be grateful of the air. Be grateful for the trees. Maybe there's a butterfly. Maybe you have family. Maybe you have a good friend. Maybe you're grateful for the internet because it has resources that you can use to uplift yourself. So just don't forget the gratitude. It's huge. And if you are struggling, please reach out to a practitioner. There are so many beautiful people out there willing to help people and to be of service and to help uplift you and to get you through and dig down to discover your authenticity and to get you closer to your higher self and to live aligned in that way. So you're worth it. I say that every time. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. If you're watching this, that means that, even if you're not watching this, but how are you going to know if you're not watching this? Just know that you are obviously trying, okay? You've acknowledged that you'd like to do better. You want to implement some positive change in your life. Thank you, and you are worth it. You are worth it. So you're here on Earth right now, beautiful time, believe it or not. There is, we have free will, and we have our superpower of choice, and we can create our lives. Not everything's going to be perfect. Perfection is, you can have moments, that feel so good that you think they're perfect, but don't strive for perfection. Just strive for growth. And with that, there's my cat, so I am going to say bye for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk with you again real soon. Bye-bye.